Hello, welcome back to Lampo Stock. Today we're going to be talking about the ninth commandment, Exodus 20 and verse 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. The reason why I'm laughing is because this is actually our third take. With a video I thought I was going to be quick and easy. Me and my husband have been fighting over because we have different ideas of how the video should be made, and it's another commandment that you need to take a little look at. This is not just a simple "you should not lie," because of course you should not lie. In the Bible it tells you not to lie. This is more specific because it's talking about serious repercussions that can happen because of this particular lie, bearing a false witness against thy neighbor. In the Bible it says that everything should be judged by 2 or 3 witnesses. And so if someone is accused of doing something, then they have to have 2 or 3 people stand up and say that they know, they have firsthand knowledge of what happened in order to enact a judgment against this person. Now, if you can't find at least 2 people who have some sort of firsthand knowledge, then that person cannot be convicted of any crime. So this is important because people's lives can be, ruined or turned upside down over someone lying. And these consequences just continue to go on. A person can be killed, put to death on a witness giving a false statement. They can be thrown out of the community, or they can be looked down upon by everyone around them just because someone lied on them. I know as a kid, people say stuff about other kids, and sometimes these things have lasting consequences, to whereas someone is thought to be a certain way for the rest of their life, and it's all because someone lied because of whatever reason. They didn't like them, or they thought maybe it could be true, whatever the reason. So this lying on someone is just really wrong, because it just has so many consequences that go along with it. Our trust can be built or destroyed on the testimony of a witness.
And speaking on this particular subject, out of Proverbs 19, a false witness.
Proverbs 6.
Oh, you're right. Proverbs 6 and 19. A false witness that speaketh lies and soweth discord among the brethren. This particular verse, and I read it out of context. Let me read the entire beginning of the verse. This is Proverbs 6, 16 through 19. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Why does it say 6 and yea, 7 are an abomination unto him?
Well, there are 7 things that are written on here. So 6 of them he hate, but the 7 is he has a stronger hate towards it. That's why it's called an abomination, and that is he that soweth discord among his brethren.
Yeah.
So he hates the others, but that is just, emphasized.
No, let me read all of them. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devise wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, and a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among the brethren. these particular, when we're talking about bearing a false witness, when that happens, it shows, part of it, what it does is it messes up the way the community works together. So when you have someone spreading tales, bearing false witness, that person is sowing discord and messing up the relationships within the brethren.
So we have Christ, who was arrested, and, well, we know everything about that trial was just messed up from the beginning, but he was convicted on the testimony of witnesses that lied on him. So they in order to eventually put him to death, they got people to come in and tell lies that he had done stuff that wasn't true, so they were able to kill him based on those witnesses. And so from that, of course, you have the Hebrew Israelites at the time. You had some who believed in Christ and were on his side, and you had others who weren't. So you have these witnesses who told lies, which of course brought more discord within the community of Hebrew Israelites as a nation, because some people believed and some people didn't. So you don't, when you lie on a person, especially someone that people trust or look up to, then it's going to cause a split or division amongst all of the people who are there, because people are going to be taking sides, and we're not here to cause division. If someone's doing something wrong, then that needs to be brought out. But just because we think or we don't like them is not a reason to try to get them away from the group. We're supposed to be dealing with honesty and unity. So accusing someone of something is not something that we should be trying to run to or force. You know, there's a lot of people I don't like, but I don't want to cause them any problems because I don't like them. We just don't mesh for this reason or that reason. Some people feel that if you don't get along, or if you don't personally like someone, then you should try to do something so that other people don't get along or personally like that person. And so that is wrong, because we shouldn't be trying to break up our community. Look, when I was growing up in the Christian church, my pastor was accused of doing things. And you had people coming up, and you had people testifying for him. You had people testifying against him. And through all of that, we ended up getting rid of that particular pastor. But from my point of view at the time, it wasn't because of what people said, because when you have altering, two different groups, some for and some against, given testimony, who do you believe? And that's kind of the way we are built today. In order to do something, we always want to get people on our side. And people always want to run to this side or that side. And in the midst of that, we forget about the right side. They always say there's 3 sides to a story: his side, your side, and the truth. The truth is only what we should be going after when it comes to any issue. And so when you bear false witness, you are trying to supersede the truth or go around the truth, or you're saying that the truth is unimportant. Just your thoughts or your ideas or your wants are important. So you've left the Most High, because the Most High is truth. And it's not just in a case where did someone do something wrong that this truth is important. It is important in every case. So say I like somebody for whatever reason, and I say and I tell people all of these things that are good about that person, but I don't tell them all of the negative things I know about that person, then I'm still bearing a false witness, because I am leading people to listen to or follow or go after a person whom I know don't have all of these great qualities that a believer should have. So it's not just bad if I lie and on someone in a negative sense to get them in trouble. It's also bad if I bear false witness and raise somebody up that shouldn't be raised. When we look at people, we often think, oh, well, they lied on that person and got them in trouble, and that's a bad thing. But I think it's equally bad to lie on someone and have people follow them or listen to them just because they were nice to you or because you like them. Because it's easy for us to ignore negative characteristics of people we like. But leading other people to them, then you are responsible for those people that you sent their way. I have a lot of issues with different camps, just because I think that if you are a part of a camp, then you are a part of keeping that organization at the top. And if I'm a part of keeping an organization at the top, what if that organization goes off? What do I do? Where do I go? Whereas I'm a part of Camp Hebrew Israelite. So I am a part of keeping the Most High at the top. And so any particular person or group or thing is irrelevant. I don't have to, I'm not trying to build someone up because of some reason. I'm not trying to pull someone down because of some reason. Because at the end, the top of my pyramid is the Most High. And in these organizations, if you want to keep that organization going, then you have to be on the boat of building the people in that organization up. So what if something happens to somebody up in that organization? Where do the people go? The people who were following these people. What happens to them? They split up, they take sides, they fight amongst themselves, and some of them just leave because they don't know who to believe. So that's why I'm against camps in general. But I'm not against people or Hebrew Israelites as a nation or as a whole. We need to come together and we need to be honest and not try to build up this person or that person, but try to build all of us up so that we can all be that good one. And if someone, any of us, don't live up to the standards, then we need to get rid of them in the right way. Not because I don't like the way they dress or the way they speak or how they look, but because they are doing something that's wrong. And we need honest people to stand up and speak on those things. But in a world today where people feel like it is their job to do something, no matter the means. So if I can't find something against you, I'm going to make something up because I know that there is something. I just can't prove it. And that's where this false witness thing comes in. I've decided on my own that there's something wrong with you, so I'm going to give this false testimony to get rid of you. And we look at that as the ends justifying the means, but that is a worldly view. If we stick to the truth when we're dealing in any situation, then the truth is going to lead us in the right direction. There's no need to bear a false witness to get rid of someone that's bad. The Most High is going to get rid of the bad. He's going to separate the wheat from the tares. He doesn't need our devices to do what it is he wants done. And so it says in Proverbs 6 verse 1, my son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with the stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself. When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. That's Proverbs 6, 1 through 5. And what this is saying is, if you have done something, if you have become entangled with some group or some person, and you have gotten caught up in some misdeed because of this, so maybe you lied and built somebody up, or you lied and tore someone down, but things that you said makes you feel like you're trapped and you have to stay in this position, or you're going to be caught or found out. The Most High says that you need to get yourself out of that situation. Don't just deal with the fix or the snare that you've gotten yourself into. Work tirelessly day and night until you fix that problem. It says, give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter. So you act as if your life depends on you fixing that problem, and you fix it. It doesn't say worry about the consequences. It says fix it. So a lot of us have gotten caught up in this thing or that thing because we believed in people that maybe we shouldn't have. And we are writing it out, hoping for some sort of solution that will appear. But the solution is you. You are the solution. You have to fix it. You did stuff to get yourself in the situation, so now you have to fix it. And you have to make haste to do so. So when we look at this verse of don't bear false witness, it's extremely relevant, because I know in my life I have been that person in a jam, not knowing where to go or what to do, because I've got myself caught up in something. And there's nobody going to save you from yourself. You have to, if you want that peace, you have to do what it takes to bring it about for yourself, because no one forced you into that situation, so no one's going to come and get you out of it. And that's hard for some people. You see, and I'm not going to use our people as examples, but you see in the Christian churches where the secretary knew that the pastor was sleeping around with other women, but she's still walking around talking about how great a man this pastor is, even though she knows his dirty deeds, because she feels like her job is fixed with or tied with the pastor having his job. So I'm not going to bring him down because I don't want to lose what I have. That is an option, and a lot of people pick that option, but that's not the right way to be. You should be a light and not a darkness. So it's bad, like I said again, to talk about people and to have someone go through some sort of punishment because you lied on them. But I think in a sense it's even more horrible if you are building someone up that shouldn't be built up, because you're leading a lot of people to their destruction if you do.
Now, to look at this, I want to bring up a couple of other topics now that I kind of got my mind straightened out here. A couple of other things on this bearing false witness. As we said before, a matter is judged by 2 or 3 witnesses. So one of the rules that we use where this comes into play is, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. One book that we go back and we look at is the book of Enoch. Okay, and the reason we do that, the reason we have read it and look at it, is because in the Bible itself, it mentions Enoch, it mentions the book of Enoch, which gives you 2 witnesses, so to speak, that Enoch was a person. Enoch is mentioned more than once. The book of Enoch itself is also mentioned in there. It is a book we will take a look at. Now, does this mean everything in this book is perfect? Not at all. Other books are also mentioned in the Bible. The book of Jubilees, mentioned multiple places. So when we look at a passage or something in another book, what we say is we use those same rule about witnesses before we can judge a particular matter. It must have support from other places. Also, in the Bible itself, if it says, or to give you an example, all of the 10 Commandments are mentioned other places as commandments in the Bible. Christ and Matthew and Mark also do a sermon on the 10 Commandments. And so the 10 Commandments are mentioned more than once in the Bible, therefore establishing their validity. This is also why it says 2 or 3 witnesses, and these are in multiple places. Now, I'm kind of looking at the reverse of this. You know, you can't bear false witness. The reverse is when judgments or establishing a judgment, it takes multiple witnesses to do this. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up, the reason I'm looking at it, is a lot of people will say, oh, well, the book of Enoch, you can't trust it. You just can't trust it in any way, or the book of Jubilees or something. You just can't trust it in any way, shape, or form because it's not in the Bible itself. Okay? That person is now, and I don't know if I really want to say they're bearing false witness against this book. That's not exactly what's going on here. But they are for sure saying that because I don't see it it's not in this canon, it's not in this list of books, it's not in the King James Bible, you just can't use it. Kind of using this as a springboard here. People will, because of their own ideas, can start bearing false witness, or start bearing witness against things, all types of things, because they believe they're doing the right thing. Just a moment ago, we were talking about how you can prop things up by bearing false witness and only saying the good things about something. You can also tear people down by only saying bad things about something, or bearing witness. You need to be very careful as to what you are bearing witness to and what you're bearing witness about. If you're given false information and you then bear witness to that information, you can be caught up bearing false witness about something.
It's like people who say that the book of Enoch is not true and they've never read the book. They've never read it, they've never looked at it, but somebody else that they believed in said it wasn't true, therefore it can't be true. Well, then you're giving testimony against something that you don't have any personal knowledge about. That's a false witness.
And people do that all the time. They bear testimony on behalf of someone else. Someone will say, the leadership in of their particular group will say, this isn't good. And now everybody underneath them, without researching the matter themselves, is now saying this isn't good because someone else told me it.
Now, that's not saying that the leadership is bad. Say the leadership opinion, my opinion is this is not good. As long as they're making sure that they're giving their opinion, then they have the right to have an opinion. But when you say, and I see a lot of different people do this, they give their opinion as if it's fact, then they are bearing false witness. I can believe anything I want to, but I can't force that belief on you unless I have some proof to back it up. And all things in the Bible don't need proof. If it's a law, a commandment, something that you have to do, then you have to have 2 to 3 witnesses. But if it says John walked down the street, I don't have to look and find 2 other examples of it saying John walked down the street to believe that John walked down the street.
Absolutely. And this is one thing that we try to stress on this channel as much as possible. Look yourself. Look yourself. We are giving our opinion on, at this point, the commandments and other things. But you need to look yourself. Look into it. Do the research. Look around these particular things so that you can be acquainted with the truth yourself. An opinion is just a signpost, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to give you a signpost, hopefully pointing in the direction of the Most High. But what we want to do most relevantly is to get you to open your Bible, look yourself for these particular things so that you have direct evidence and you can judge accordingly.
And we also want you to judge with wisdom, to make your opinions based on some wisdom. Don't just take my opinion or somebody else's opinion because you like the way we sound or the way we act with each other as fact. You as a person need to look at the characteristics of great people that God has given us and determine when you're listening to someone if they show those good characteristics. If not, then you need to look at what they do or what they say with a grain of salt and really search it out for yourself, because you are just as important as I am. Your thoughts and your opinions are just as important as ours. So if the Most High is dealing with you, let him deal with you. Don't give up you because I said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
thank you for listening to us here at Lample Stock. We hope that we will be able to sit and talk to you again.
bye.